Black women mostly didn't show up to the protests, but they did so mostly for their own safety. And the thing that I have to say about that is, first of all, I completely understand why they didn't physically show up to the protests.
Black Women's Project 2025 is to rest. We've done all we can. We've done all we can. I said in my last video that community is the answer.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching from. Welcome back to my YouTube space. And I love you so much. Today's video, I'm going to talk about the silence of black people is a threat to white people. Not all of them. When we talk about white people, we talk about the system. When black people are silent, the system go gaga. When black people speaks, they fear too. So they are always watching the moves of black people. And April 5th there, black people did not go to the protest. They went silent. And the white people were terrified. Why? They decided to bring on the segregation issues. Black people were silent. Why? So the silence of black people, or the silence of black people, is always a threat to the white people. When black people speaks again too, it's a threat to them. And we have to know, as black people, we have to know for a fact that we are always creating tensions. We are always creating tensions. Yes, we have to know that. We are the deal. We are the prize. And we need to know that we are not inferiors. See what happened in April 5th. Black people didn't go to election. Some white people came out and talked about it. Why? Let's watch this clip and then we'll come back and talk about it.
I replied, this comment is entirely false in every regard. You're a white person who categorizes yourself as a commie. So obviously you think that protests are only effective if black people are there to be under the tank treads, right? You think that it's only a real protest if black people and the cops are there and the black folks are being brutalized by the police. This tells me all I need to know about you. Tankies want their fantasy of a bloody revolution. Forgive the Homestuck reference here, but they don't want a LARP revolution, they want to FLARP it. They want fatal live-action roleplay, and they want the most vulnerable folks in the community to be sacrificed, to be brutalized, because they think it will bring about their authoritarian communist utopia. When I say that white tankies, white communists are not safe, and that they want authoritarianism, they just want their own flavor of it. They don't actually want liberation. They don't actually care about the most vulnerable. They don't actually care about injustice. They just care about their fantasy. This is exactly what I...
Just a reminder to my fellow white people, you are not an ally if black men and black women are telling you that they are not going to protest on it because it will put their lives in harm's way, and you throw a tantrum. Saying, oh, we all have to work together. Shouldn't we all come together, we the people? Don't you care about the future, about the children, about... The time to come together was at the election. We failed them. So now, their rest is their resistance, and they are staying home and staying safe as they should, because their lives are too precious to put on the line. And what would cost me and people who look like me getting yelled at, or at the worst tear gas, which isn't likely, would cost them their physical lives. And they've already been giving those lives for centuries in this country for all the rights that we enjoy. So it is our turn.
I made a video talking about the problems with Gen Z not being involved in the protests that happened. And in addition to that, it's especially worrying because of this trend of Gen Z being more conservative than millennials. And in response to that, I got a couple of comments along these lines referring to the fact that black women mostly didn't show up to the protests, but they did so mostly for their own safety. And the thing that I have to say about that is, first of all, I completely understand why they didn't physically show up to the protests. No, they shouldn't have to. But I want to be so absolutely clear with everyone that just because black women were not at the protests does not mean that they weren't involved. Because my friend and I are both comment on political topics like this, and we live streamed the entire protests. And I don't think that it's a coincidence that the majority of people watching and commenting on those protest videos were black women. The black women that didn't go to the protests for, mind you, safety reasons, because police tend to treat people who are protesting while you're being a person of color. Much differently, Black women still stayed informed, stayed engaged, and showed support and solidarity with the people who were out there protesting. So I hope that clears some things up. The issue on Gen Z not being as progressive as millennials and not showing up, I kind of view that as a separate issue. And if you are a Black woman, yeah, that doesn't apply to you for not showing up. But I do think that it's still something that we should all be more aware of, that Gen Z is more conservative than millennials are.
Hey, white people, let's talk. Sometimes I forget that white people aren't as engaged with Black creators on this app and in the world as I am. So there was something over the weekend that I thought everybody was very well aware of, but I'm understanding that that's not the case. I was talking to my mom today, and she and my brother went to a protest on April 5th to protest Trump and all of the things that have been happening for the last couple of months. So she was telling me about her experience, and she said it was like a love fest. It was so nice to be with all of these people, thousands of people, and everybody signs and all this stuff. And I said to her, did you notice that there weren't many Black people there, if any? And she was like, yeah, actually, I did notice, and I was confused, and I was like, I thought Black people were really upset about him too, and I didn't understand. This is my mom talking. So I explained to her that 92% of Black women and 80-some% of Black men did what they were supposed to do back on November 5th. And they are now resting, and they are not participating in these here protests. And that there was a concerted effort for Black folks to stay home yesterday on April 5th. And to be honest, I think she's still confused about the why. But I'm working on that. But do yourself a favor and follow Black content creators here on TikTok, because you will learn so much, and you will be able to use your new knowledge to help educate the people that you are in proximity with. But yeah, white folks, if you didn't know, Black folks said, we're not marching on April 5th. We're not doing it. We're going to stay home. We're going to let white people get us out of this mess, because white people got us into this mess. The more you know.
Black people in America, do not do it. Do not do it. Do not do. They are trying to gaslight you so much. If your silent protest was not working, they would not be trying to actively gaslight you. How are you going to say that you're going to free George Floyd's... I'm not even going to say his name because he's not worthy. You're going to free him. That didn't work. They said they're going to do this. That didn't work. They said they're going to do that. That's not going to work. This segregation, it ain't going to work. They're destroying graves. It's not going to work. Stand firm. The silent protest is working. They need a scapegoat. They need a target. If you go out there and crash out, all that's going to happen is you're going to be the distraction. You're going to be the target. And they will still put the same laws and the same protocols in. They will just use you as a scapegoat of why they're doing it. And then everyone else will blame you for the reason why everything is going so badly. Let the others handle their own business. Okay? I've never been so proud of you in my life. Watching from the UK, it's like everyone collectively just said, I'm going to sip water and mind my business. And honestly, as crazy as it is to watch everything unfold in America, your silent protest is working. Keep going.
Black Women's Project 2025 is to rest. We've done all we can. We've done all we can. I said in my last video that community is the answer. That's it. I need you to tap in to the people who love and care about you. I need you guys over the next few months to take inventory of what resources that you have that can be shared amongst you. If you are a Christian, this is a very biblical value, right? Acts, they had all things in common. Christianity is actually a very communal, despite what we've seen and heard, Christianity is a very communal religion. And so, Project 2025, Black folks, Black women especially, your job is to rest. Kick up your feet. Take off the cape. We showed up. We showed out. We spoke up. We did what we were supposed to do. It is now time to rest. And I'm saying Black women, but Black men as well. Black men as well. It is your time to rest. Rest is an act of resistance. Rest is a rebellion. It is. And I don't mean rest like be apathetic, because that's not what we need. Some of us do need to organize, but I want you to organize for your community, not to save the country. We're done with that now. We're done with that. We'll vote again in 2026 and do our part in the midterm elections to boost whatever we can. But your Project 2025, no matter what happens with the actual Project 2025, which remains to be seen, your job is to do your best, to love yourself, to dig deep, deep roots in your community, and to see what we can do together. We have officially been outed out of this democracy. It's not for us. We will reap the consequences, but we are resilient. Black people are resilient. There was another creator on here. She made a video, and I think I reposted it. But she said, like, we've been through this. We know what to do. We've been faced with this before. For the minorities who wanted white proximity so bad that you voted against yourselves, I pray and I hope that you learn very quickly and you assimilate very quickly to the resilience, the level of resilience that you will need for you to thrive in this new and upcoming democracy. I will speak more on this as I feel like I'm going to be making videos throughout today. But rest today, especially, I unfortunately plan to see a client today because I was optimistic. So I'm going to do that. But other than that, I was going to get some work done today. I am resting. I'm going to take care of my household. I might clean up a little bit, but I am investing in me. And then I'm going to have some TLC. I have some TLC planned later this evening. And then this weekend, me and my girls have a sleepover planned. That's what I'm doing in response to this. And of course, I'm going to spend some time in prayer and I'm going to journal. I'll make another video soon about like how to cope and how to process. Please stay tuned. I'm already planning to meet with colleagues on how we can support our community during this time. So stay tuned. There will be free resources that I am working on. So yeah.
Welcome back. Silence, in many cases, Black silence is powerful. Black silence is more powerful simply because it breaks the stereotype. Which stereotype? Western society often expects Black people to be expressive, emotional, or entertaining. So, the silence of Black person is so much powerful and it creates a lot of tension within the other races. Why are they not coming out? We don't see Black people. Why? They are always on our business. Our business is their business as much as more than us. So, when a Black person is silent, it refuses to confirm or to conform. It resists performance. And in a world where Blackness has been commodified, silence becomes a form of rebellion. It says, I don't owe you my feelings. I don't owe you my story. I don't owe you my energy. That's threatening to people who are used to consuming or controlling Black expression. Black people, they wake up and rise and one day they said, I don't owe you my feelings. I don't owe you my expression. I don't owe you my energy. I can't come out. I can't protest whether you do this. I know it's a bait for me to go out, but I don't want it. I don't want it. So, It's creating, it's threatening to the people who always are used in consuming or controlling black expression. So, black silence is power. Let's normalize it. Let's normalize it. In some point, we just don't need to wake up and speak. Some points, we need to remain silent. You hear me? Silence has long been a strategic tool in resistance movement. During slavery and colonization, silence was used to hide true thoughts, to organize, or to avoid giving power to the oppressor. Even today, when a black person is silent in a boardroom, classroom, or courtroom, it can be read as a refusal to participate in the dominant, often white narrative. And this makes people nervous, especially those subconsciously aware of how history has treated black voices. So, when a black person goes silent in a room too, they are terrified, man. They are terrified because you don't know the move of this guy. Who is this guy? Why is he silent? We always expect him to rise and talk and fight for his rights, but he has just remained silent. It's a form of rebellion. When America went to the protest in April 5th, black people said, no, we ain't going. Now, this will de-strategize their strategy. They will go back to the drawing board and they will find themselves falling in the trap of the black people. So, it can be used as a form of protest. It can be used as a form of rebellion. Black silence speaks a lot. We need to know that. It's not always we always talk. For example, you as a black person, you go in a grocery store, then someone follows you, talking racial words in your back, and then you remain silent. This guy will be like, okay, I was provoking him. Why is not talking? He will get worried. Maybe you are planning something. He don't know your next move. He don't know if you are you just keep silence. He keeps talking. Oh, yeah, you're dark. Yeah. And you keep on walking and smiling. She or he doesn't know your move. Black people, let's normalize keeping. Today I have noticed. I was just sitting down and saying, why? If one day black people go silent as they did in this election or this protest, what if we don't talk? What if they do something? What if you come across a racist and you don't talk? You just keep quiet. You don't retaliate. You don't get provoked. Do you feel that? Maybe it can bring something because we no longer use this silence, but I saw in this protest we used it and it caused tension within the white people. When they talked about segregation, when they are erasing the history of black people, we ain't talking shit. We aren't going to the street. We are here on the online discussing our own matters and telling them we can come. Man, I'm starting loving this silence of black people, man. I love it, man. I love it so much. Like, you are in a boardroom, an oppressor says something, and you go quiet. And him talking like that is trying to say that he knows you will retaliate. You will talk, but you keep silent. Wow. He goes on threatened. He fears, he trembles, and he falls in your trap. Many white people carry internalized fear, not necessarily of black people themselves, but of what black silence represent, a reckoning. They project their own unresolved guilty, privilege, or complicity onto that silence. It is not what the black person is doing that scares them. It is what they might be thinking that unknown becomes a mirror reflecting their discomfort. It is not what the black person is doing that scares them. It's what this black person is thinking. You don't know a damn of what this guy is thinking, man. You don't know shit. You are there. You are provoking this black man. You are provoking this black lady. You are a Karen. You are provoking these black kids, and they don't talk about it. They just stay silent. Then you become fear. You become threatened because you don't know what this guy is thinking. You don't know the moves. You don't know what next. Man, I tell you, my guy, I tell you, we as black people, we need to normalize this silence. We as black people, we need to enter this silent mode. Silent mode is another way to fight our battles, because when we go to the street, we are being pursued with the police. We are being used to throw tear gas on us. So why should we? Let us go silent. Let's go back to the drawing board, re-strategize, come back and conquer. We are the conquerors. So we just need moves, strategies. And one of the strategy is being silent. Being silent. The unknown become a mirror reflecting their discomfort. You feel me? Now, another thing. Society has trained people to associate silence from black people with anger. Why aren't you smiling? Why are you so quiet? They get worried. They get terrified. They get trembled. They don't know your next move, and they know they have provoked you. They have been racist to you. They have paid you low wages. They are doing inequality to you. But why? Why are you not saying anything? These microaggressions come from the fear that silence means hostility. But black people, especially in white spaces, are often silent to stay safe. We know that. Often silent to stay safe, to observe, or to maintain dignity. Yet, even that self-control can be misled or can be misread as a threat. So, black people, we have power. And this power is like this. When you are silent in the midst of a white space, that's observing. You are practicing to stay safe, because if you are silent, you will stay safe. You will observe. You will maintain your dignity. But again, the information we are sending to that person is that, oh yeah, this is a threat. It's a threat. So they want you to talk. They want you to verbal. They want you to say something. They call you names. They want you to retaliate. They want you to talk, to be provocative. But if you stay silent, it's a threat to them. Even sometimes they can't go ahead speaking something against you. Black people silent is our greatest weapon. Maybe we don't know that. Maybe we know that, but we have to start normalizing using it. We have. White comfort often depends on predictability. When a black person is silent, it disrupts the comfort zone. There's no reassurance, no explanation, no everything, okay? That silence forces white people to sit with their own thoughts. And many don't like what bubbles up. Many. Maybe black people's silence isn't dangerous. Maybe it's just powerful. You hear that? Maybe black people, or maybe black silence isn't dangerous. Maybe it is just powerful. And that power exposes the discomfort in others who have never had sit in silence with themselves. Black silence is most powerful weapon I have now experienced since April 5th. Since April 5th, the tension within the white space, the tension within the white community, the tension within the white system, I see it. It is openly out here. They don't know what is our move. They don't know why are we supporting segregation. They don't know why are we not talking about the killings of, they God damn it. Damn it. Why are they silent? So we need to normalize being silent as black people. It's a good weapon. Our silence, they get stressed. When we talk, they get so much stress. But I have seen the silence part, it plays a better role in what they are trying to do. Right now, they have cancelled DEI. They have provoked black people. The immigration policies. Latinos have spoken. Asian Americans have spoken. But black people have stayed silent, saying that this is not our fight. So they are like, okay, which is your fight? I thought we are provoking you black men. I thought so. But which is your fight? Why are you not talking? So they are, no, and we need to continue with that. We need that. We need that as black people. I'm so happy that I see most of black people have started assuming all of these issues that are coming up and seeing it as a bait. For example, if you are going somewhere, if you are somewhere and then this white guy comes and start talking, babbling bullshit in your front, and you stay calm, when you continue talking, they'll be seen as mad people. So they don't want to be seen as mad people. They want you to come up because they know how aggressive maybe we are. They know how we. But when you remain silent, they don't know what you think. They don't know what your next move. You know, even if you're attacking someone and this guy is silent, you don't know if he's a policeman. You don't know if he can beat you. He's just quiet. You talk. People are seeing you as mad. That's what we need to do as black people. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Until next episode, peace out.